When do you watch porn the most? Okay, yes. When you're horny, yes, you're gonna watch porn and probably jack off to it, right? Yes, that's the most obvious reason. It can also be due to habit, it's like it gets to that time in the night and you're on your bed, you have a box of tissues right next to you, you have your phone, you have your headphones, you have everything. It's habit. Or, you saw something little sexual on Instagram, or honestly though, Instagram is pretty much just filled with softcore porn, so it's like, yeah, you're gonna have that no matter what. So good luck. But anyway, you are artificially induced from sexual images and media, and that leads you to watch porn and masturbate. But apart from that, the most common reason you'll watch porn is because you're lonely. And I felt this myself, right? Like, and that's from my experience, right? Like, if you aren't sexually induced to be horny, and if you're not naturally horny, and if it's not due to habit, it's most likely because you're just lonely. And if this is the case, then is porn the issue? Or just a symptom? Right, because if your primary reason for watching porn is that you're lonely, I'm not so sure that porn is the issue. Because it sounds more like a symptom to me. And so, in these instances where you're alone for long periods of time, where you are isolated from people, that is when you're the most vulnerable, right? Because you're alone. And the thing is, we as humans have evolved as a social species. We've evolved in tribes. Like, there's a number of people there's a maximum limit of number of people that you can be close to. And that's Dunbar's number, which is around 150 people. And my point with that is, we know that there is an absolute limit of how many people you can know and be friends and part of a community with. And that just means that we were made to be in communities. Right? We were made for it. And I think that when you're on the road to quitting porn, I think that being lonely is the most likely factor to get in your way. Right? Because if you're on the road to quitting porn, that means that you're going to get rid of things that artificially increase your horniness. Right? You're going to develop ways to disperse those feelings of being horny. And you're going to break your habits. And so once those three items are crossed off the list, it's like the thing that's going to be the greatest obstacle is being lonely. And certainly that's been the way for me. So the first time I tried quitting porn, I quit cold turkey, and I made it to December, and I'm specifically winter break. Winter break, I came home, and I was alone for 2 weeks. And things happened. And so, I think that for most people, not the Coomers who come 3 times on the walls, but for normal people, porn use is not the cause of your issues. Your issues cause the porn use. Porn use is a symptom rather than the issue. Like if you're alone and you feel bad or whatever it is, and you use porn to absolve yourself of those negative feelings, you don't end up acting in a way to better yourself, to resolve your issues. Instead, you use porn to give you good feelings, to give yourself endorphins, to make you feel better. When really, solving the situation itself will do the trick. And it's like this with depression nowadays. If you say you're depressed, if you say you're depressed to a psychiatrist, they basically just give you antidepressants and they send you home. Right? Like, if my parents died tomorrow, or let's say they died today, and then I went to the psychiatrist tomorrow, and I told him I was depressed, he would give me antidepressants and send me away. He wouldn't ask me why I was depressed. He would just give it to me and I would go away. if that psychiatrist asked me, why are you depressed? And I told him, my parents died yesterday. He would tell me, yeah, you aren't depressed. You're just grieving. And he'd be right. Because I would be grieving. I would not be depressed. Because it's natural to feel a deep sadness when tragedy occurs. This is not because of some neural imbalance in my brain. Now, that being said, I think that symptom and root issue is sort of a two-way street, meaning that if you get rid of your escape, you might work out the root issue. What's more probable is that you search out for other ways to alleviate your pain. And if you get rid of all of them, I would still say it's more likely for you to still ignore your root issue, to ignore the root cause, than to actually solve it. And so in the end, I think that the solution is not deliberately quitting porn, because you'll find something else. But it's by resolving the underlying issues and needs that have caused you to search out for porn. Right, like if you aren't confident in being able to talk to girls, and then you use porn to get all the benefits without any of the downsides. Right? If you think you're not attractive, and if you haven't worked on it at all, and then so you use porn to get validation. It's like whatever it is, porn is a symptom of a greater issue in your life, most likely, right? Like if you're like looking at porn like 3 hours a day, you have some issues that you need to figure out, right? Like porn, sure, you can say you have a porn issue, you have a porn addiction, but that's not the real cause. Like you have some reason why you are doing that. There is some reason why you're doing that, right? Notice that. Like, if you're a normal person, you wouldn't do that. And so there is something that is causing you to behave in that particular way. And if you were to solve that issue, if you were to resolve it, this stuff with porn would go away. Because when you solve the root cause, the problems that stem off from it, the symptoms, they resolve. And it's like when you're sick. You get a cold, you get a fever, you get a runny nose, you get whatever. When your body defeats the virus, all the symptoms stop. If you keep on treating the symptoms, but never treat the root cause, you're always going to have them. Because you aren't treating the root cause, the thing that causes everything else downstream. And so that should be your main focus. And so overall, this was just sort of a random thought that I got in the middle of a meditation one morning. And, could be right, could be false. Whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. And do me a favor and share this to other people. And with that, I'll see you.